so there's no Facebook Live today, but there's YouTube Live. So head over to YouTube if you ain't there already and subscribe while you're there. But anyways, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of
Two Women,
Two Opinion with your girl,
Marty,
and Todd.
I was with it.
But good morning, America. We're here on CNN Live.
Get your coffee with us, too.
Not gonna play no coffee with no. We don't want no
Think we fucking it all the way up.
No, but hello, everybody. I'm in a great mood today. How are you? How was your week so far?
I mean, other than my little tirade about me being tired, I'm good. It's actually been a pretty productive week.
Well, productive is
yeah,
good.
I'm glad. I don't know, I've been hyper focused on all the shit that I have going on, so it's just good to like zone in and just knock shit out.
I fucked with it. I've been doing real good with, my sales and stuff. Like, I fell back this month a little bit, but like the last few days, these people been calling me like crazy. So they could be like, damn, you made all your sales the last 2 days of the month. Well, sorry. I didn't tell them to wait. But, people were celebrating the holidays. And I feel like as a holiday company, they have to kind of understand what's going on. The good thing about it, like I said, you have like 5 months to fuck up. And if you get all the way to the 4th month, you start over from the 1st. Yeah. So like,
I'm glad we both think that way because that's how it worked in my mind.
but no, that's how the company is. So you do so if you not meeting your scores for 3 months straight, you get a training. And then if you do good after that training that month, you don't get nothing. And then say you do bad the next month, you get a training again. So it go like that. And then say you do bad 2 months in a row.
They said we gonna make sure that you work this motherfucking job.
Yeah,
we just gonna keep retraining
you
your ass.
You literally got to do bad like 10 months in a row to like get fired type shit. So you a terrible employee.
Cuss somebody out.
It's not possible. Right. It's not possible unless you attendance or you just don't give a fuck. But anyway.
You wilding out on them phones.
Welcome everybody to YouTube. I see y'all on YouTube. Hello. Comment on there. Hey, let me all right. Anyways. I was coming. But anyways, all right. So I remember last week before we was leaving, I was like, oh my gosh, we wasn't able to talk about the story. I wanted Taj to kind of tune into it. I told her all about it. But we got more details.
Let she tell this story. Can we take this shot? Because I already know this is about to get dark.
All right, so we taking a shot to accomplishments and knocking off all the shit that we said
to the
in
grind.
2023. And no late fees from Vegas Hype Media. Because we pay our shit on time. You better ask Brittany how fast our shit come through. She probably be like, damn. This stuff.
Head spinning.
No shade. As soon as she send an email to me, I'd be like, phew.
Okay.
Unless I wait to the 3rd sometime. I told you I wait to the 3rd sometime. I'll be testing her gangster like. She probably over there like, damn, she ain't, I gotta send it. She be waiting. She be waiting to put the extra late fee on there. But I'll be
her ass 11:59.
I would pay on time for 5 months in a row. That 6th month, I'd be like
11:59.
She'd be like, damn, she paid on time. She thought she had me. But anyway, so shots to Two Women to Opinion. Please subscribe to our YouTube, y'all. That's how we go monetize.
I think, look, going forward, y'all ain't getting to Facebook. Y'all got to go to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Watch us every fucking week because we here every fucking week. We appreciate it.
Well, there it is. She the final say. Anyways, so it was a middle school girl that was arrested and she orchestrated attempted murder shooting. Okay, so it's 2 parts of this story right now. So it was 8th grade students. 3 students are charged with the attempted murder. They are all being charged as adults, right? Because it's crazy. Wait till they tell you the story. Okay, so they're all calling it a hit-style shooting for 8th graders. Well, let's listen to this.
Good Lord.
But it's 2 parts, though.
It was a hit squad style attack on a Prince George's County school bus caught on video. A boy with a gun tries to shoot and kill a 14-year-old while 2 accomplices hold the victim down. Had the gun not jammed repeatedly, the victim would surely have died, investigators have said in court. And today in a Prince George's County courtroom, we learned the attack was allegedly orchestrated by an 8th grade girl who's accused of texting the attackers before they rushed the bus to let them know the victim was seated and the last rider left. The 14-year-old girl was arrested over the weekend and charged as an adult with attempted murder. Tense bailiffs in the courtroom watched to keep family members separated. The suspect's family begged for the girl to be released into home detention before trial. But arguments by attorneys revealed there are allegations of gang ties. And the victim's mother begged the judge not to let the girl go home, saying her family and the school bus driver would be terrorized that the girl could orchestrate another attack.
Oh, she will.
She planned this out and she set it up to a T, the victim's mother said.
This is her
Judge
job
Byron Bariano ordered the girl held without bail in a juvenile facility, saying that home detention may keep her off the streets, but would not prevent her from planning more deadly mayhem. Prosecutor Aisha Brayboy reflected on how dangerous these suspects are alleged to be despite their young age.
This case, but we hear parents say, my child's a good child, that they weren't involved. I can't believe it, but believe it. It happens. Unfortunately, far too often in our communities, young people are making adult decisions that have adult consequences.
So this little girl, her mom had no clue. We talked about her mom. She already had like a few interviews saying that no way, not my child. They're making a mistake. Here's her report card. Here's how she does at home. I had no clue. You kind of never know, like in some cases, and I don't want the parent to blame themselves as to what's going on.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can read all of her text messages. If she was the kid, when you looked at her phone most of the time, she had some shit in there. Mm-hmm. You're not going to do that to a kid that's on a good straight narrow that when you check them, it's always right. Like, damn, I just looked at her phone. It wasn't nothing. Damn, I just looked at her text messages. I just checked her TikTok.
I think that's what makes it even worse, though.
That she can hide it.
Yeah.
That makes it so much worse.
She hid it so well that I'm sure her mother trusted her a whole 1,000%. So I 100% agree with what that the lady said, the attorney. Yeah, she need to be locked up. That child is not regular.
Exactly. And they had gang ties to where not only were they orchestrating a murder, they had cliques to where they were naming themselves something to where they can do it and grow it as an empire type thing. And like I said, her mother said she had no clue. But the alleged killer, the one that had the gun, the one that was the attempted murder, name is Baby K. He is still on the loose. And he's supposedly the suspect in a new murder involving the little girl's big sister. Let's play this clip and we'll talk about it.
What?
First, let's begin with that alleged attempted shooting on a Prince George's County school bus. Police now say the person holding the gun was 15-year-old Baby K. He's wanted on attempted murder charges.
Yeah, we've been following this one since it happened on May 1st. Police say Baby K was one of 3 teens who tried to kill a student on that bus. Police already arrested 2 of those teens and a 14-year-old girl accused of planning the attack.
Casey Nolan is live at police headquarters in D.C. And Casey, you've now learned that this Baby K is also wanted for a separate crime in the district?
That's what we're hearing, Leslie. This already disturbing case, frankly, has now taken a tragic turn. What started on a Prince George's County school bus, sources tell us, is now connected to the murder of a woman in D.C. that police here in D.C. are investigating. It was the 1st of May with the last student still on board when Prince George's County police say 3 teens forced their way onto a school bus and attacked a 14-year-old boy at gunpoint. Wednesday, police released this photo of the teen they say had the gun, a 15-year-old who goes by the name Baby K. Investigators say he tried to shoot the 14-year-old multiple times, but the gun jammed and the teens ran off. Police say the attack was organized by a 14-year-old girl who knows the victim. Police arrested her and 2 of the alleged attackers, but Baby K is still at large, wanted for the attempted murder of the 14-year-old on the bus. Late Wednesday, police announced the U.S. Marshals have joined the manhunt for Baby K and upped the reward for his capture to more than $12,000. And WUSA 9 has also learned Baby K is suspected in a D.C. murder. 2 days after the attack on the school bus, 23-year-old Kasia McCoy was found dead on the 4th floor of this northeast apartment building on Jameson Street near Fort Lincoln. Police say she was shot in the face. According to sources, McCoy is the sister of one of Baby K's alleged accomplices in the school bus attack. So far, an MPD spokesperson.
So it has already been leaked. You know, social media is a bad motherfucker,
Eighth graders. We're not talking about a bunch of adults.
Right.
We're talking about kids.
Right. And as far as the young lady, the 23-year-old, you know, social media works.
Yeah.
It's wonders. People talking. They're talking, and they're talking in the neighborhood, and the sister is the young lady's big sister. So it's like, I feel like he's reacting to maybe her telling too much, because how did they know who he was? You know,
Right.
How did it's a whole trickle effect, and like you said, these are babies we talking about. These are our
My niece
future,
is literally a
supposedly,
year
you know?
from being this age. Yeah,
Hell,
no.
my niece is about to be 13.
That's what I'm saying. She about to be in the 8th grade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
We talked about phones, but a couple weeks ago, I don't know. I feel like this goes, I know we always say like we got to blame the parents, but in this case, you kind of do. Like you really have to, what kind of parenting, not in this situation, but just in general, we don't know what's going on. Let's say we got A students on a roll. They do their chores. They don't give us no backlash. We're not checking their phones. Right? I don't think I'm ever going to be that parent just because of how I'm watching other people raise their kids and the shit that they got going on. But kids are hypersexualized. They watch a lot of shit that's hypersexualized, right? A lot of them are confused about what direction they gonna go in, right? Transgender, we got the LGBTQ community, we've got, do I even identify as a human? Can I identify as this? Like, you got a lot of shit going on. And not enough parents taking the time to have like really heartfelt conversations. We don't know what the other little girl was going through, right? Not saying like it gave her any, or I'm not saying she shouldn't take any accountability for her actions because she orchestrated a possible murder.
Yeah.
But we also don't know what her day to day was like, right? There might be a reason why she tried to have that little boy killed. I'm just saying, like, we don't know the whole story. I'm not trying to give her the benefit. I'm just saying we don't know the whole story. These kids are going through a lot more mentally than we did as we were growing up. We were outside. We were playing.
Yeah.
We weren't spending time watching Kim Kardashian half naked on Instagram or you know, women portraying high school students, right? The pasta and lobster chick, like, prime example. She's got a whole music video where she's shaking her ass. They're overly dressed, but she's in a high school setting.
I
It's
just
shit
feel
like that. It's
even
a
though I'm
lot.
covering it, I just feel like they kind of overdid like her part, because the way that it played out is they stopped at a stop. She got off.
Yeah.
And they got on. You know? So it's like, oh, she set it up for them to be there with text messages, right? But like you said, what else was going on? You know what I'm saying?
And then if this is gang related, because they did hint to that, if this is gang related, then you got to also think about, like, we grew up out
Baby
here.
K done did?
No, it's not even just about Baby K. It's like
Baby K's a gangster.
people, when we were growing up, when you were trying to be down with that kind of shit, like, you had to do like dramatic ass shit, whether it was fight. But back then, you used to fight each other, right? You whip somebody's ass, or you pull up
Like,
three
get
dudes, you
quoted
beat their
in.
ass, you rob them, and that's how you got jumped in, or whatever the case may be, or that's how you got in and then you got jumped in. It's like shit like that. Nowadays, like, the first thing these kids do is pick up a gun or a knife or a bat. Shit that don't make no sense. Ain't nobody know how to fight no more. All right, ain't nobody out here teaching their kids how to fight. So their first thing to do is go find a gun. I don't know. I think there's a whole lot going on in that
There's
one little
so much
community
going
that
on.
we don't know.
Yeah.
Right? You got gang violence. You got a 14-year-old girl orchestrating a murder against another 14-year-old. You got a 15-year-old who not only tried to commit one murder, but two. Y'all got some shit going on in that community. And a whole lot of talking. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Where's these kids'
the
mamas
one thing that I do have to agree with is the fact that the conversations aren't being had. You can't, like, you can go through I had a calculator back in the day it was a fake calculator, but if you put in a certain code, it was a text message app. Yeah.
So you was sneaky. I mean, we saw a hint of sneaky. I hope my mama ain't watching this. But I used to throw parties at my mom's house.
Like,
when she would go out, even if it was for a few hours, I was throwing house
but
parties.
You're telling me that it's still it's your child tell you, oh, this is a certain app that I need on my thing for my schooling. You're gonna go through the app to see if it's real, because you can go in there and put calculations in. As long as you didn't put those 4 numbers in, you couldn't go to the other side of it. So you can't really say.
But look at your sneakiness compared to her sneakiness. I just don't think we was on that kind of shit.
Back in 2009.
Right. I'm not gonna say things were simpler, but we didn't have as much exposure to the shit that they do.
Now that was 2009 when I had that, and I probably can Google. I could probably look it up in the app store right now. I had to remember, because my old ass 30. I had to remember to type that in my notes to remember that I had it, because I forgot that I had that shit. I'm like, oh shit, no, that's something good to bring up, because if your child, not saying you don't have a sneaky child, you don't have to bust them doing shit in the house. But if they got a fucking calculator app, you're like, oh shit, oh bitch, I want to make sure this real. 10 times 10, that go through. Blah, blah, blah. But if you put 2468 in there, boom, it opened up to a whole new world. How would you know? I don't blame shit like that on the parents, because we got all these crazy ass people in this world because because of what they have access to. Now,
so you don't feel like it's a lack of supervision though? Because I feel like to an extent there is.
The only way you don't have a crazy ass kid nowadays is if you don't give them a device. You just don't give them a device.
Like how we were.
Yeah,
you gotta use the house phone,
and they won't be nuts. Period.
I don't know if it's just about the devices.
It really is, because as long as they can search and can spell, they can be as crazy as they fucking want to. And what it ain't even them. They see one video or one clip online, because it be like little clips and shit that comes in.
Yeah.
Like with the girls, when they was younger, when they was with us, they got an hour of screen time a day. This little motherfucker to me is the scariest little motherfucker in the world. Watching Freddy, the stabbing bear. What the fuck was his name?
Stabbing bear.
Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah. But that's like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, they kind of aim that towards kids. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not meant for them. It's a comic, but
that was on kids' YouTube. That's what I'm talking about, little babies.
Yeah.
And that's what you always talk about. I'm not talking about your little babies and my little babies. I'm talking about like my niece. 12, 13, 14, they have access to so much shit because they know how to spell kill a motherfucker on Google. They know how to spell how to get away with murder.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old don't know how to spell how to get away with murder.
I don't know. That little girl is highly intelligent. It takes a whole nother level.
Yeah, but it really don't. Because you could just gotta get a dumbass
to orchestrate
little boy
I don't
named Baby
know.
K that's going around commit. Because that's only one thing they figured out. If this little nigga been had a gun walking around the neighborhood talking about he wanted to shoot somebody, all she had to do was say, "Oh, go shoot whoopty whoop."
I'm telling you, there's a lot more to this story that we don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna keep in touch.
Everything.
That's why I didn't want to talk about it last week, because I want to give y'all him being a suspect for a new murder happened before we came to the show, so I didn't even have the notes about it.
Damn. Okay.
So I know it's more to it, but I do feel like it's the gang that they're trying to build is trying to make a name for themselves, like you said, the initiation type shit.
You remember, like, there was like girls that used to get trans ran on them just to be a part of some gang. Like, it was like weird ass shit like that.
But you blaming that on their mama?
If the mama got them in that environment, I mean, again, lack of supervision. I feel like there's a lack of supervision. You got to be on top of your kids, especially because of you know what's out there.
Still be friends. I pray every night for Hayden and Harper not to put you through nothing, because your ass gonna be like, how? And I did everything I said. I just pray. Please don't do nothing. Please, baby girls.
I'll watch over my kids.
Your head is, but it doesn't matter. Like,
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying,
though.
like, the chances of it happening because I be on top of them. It is.
No, it's not.
You think it's slim?
I don't think it's
kids
slim.
are just gonna turn out who they're gonna be.
Yeah, because like Sean, can you really talk about like your niece and nephew? They're like Bible thumpers. Her sister and them, they Bible thumpers. Man, I won't even know what them little boy hidden secrets is. You crazy as a mother.
But it might be nothing. They might be genuinely good kids.
But not no crazy shit like killing people or nothing like that.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying that with hating heart, but I'm not trying to get you there. I'm saying like, you know, like watching stuff that you said don't watch. You're not allowed to watch the Kardashians, but I just really want to see what kind of makeup they have on the next day. Not serious. I'm saying like little shit where you just can't control.
It's a
like
lack
I
of
told your
supervision.
ass not to watch that shit. And they're like, but they're going to do it.
But if you're raised right, you're less likely to be that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
doing
no.
that if
That's
you're
why.
raised
That's
right.
why I had to say like the limits that of what I'm saying.
Because you're
Killing
kids, you still want to
people,
explore.
Yeah,
but
yeah, killing people.
Right.
Yeah, killing people, raping people. Yeah, I'm
because
not
if you're
saying
in
that
8th grade
crazy
and,
shit.
and
As
you're
I'm saying, like this,
yeah.
this child is something
But
totally
I'm saying, like,
different.
I'm saying with this expectation of like me supervising my kid, they're not ever gonna do something that I said they
I'm not
cannot
saying
do.
that. I'm just
Oh,
saying
no,
like the
that's what I'm
realm of
saying.
possibilities.
Yeah, for going to go kill people, that's hella
That's
slim.
too far. My kids
with
ain't
knowing
know.
with your kid. Yeah, but actually, your kids going out exploring and doing shit that they're not supposed to do.
I'm sure. First of all, I'm sure they've seen a lot more in front of me than they probably should.
Right.
But even then, like, I'm sure at some point they gonna watch a Cardi B video. I'm sure at some point they gonna run into some kind of porn.
Yeah.
But you also, like, I feel like there's ways to have the conversations to not make them feel uncomfortable, and everybody has to understand that this is not appropriate for children. No,
or rapers.
Oh no.
But I do feel like you might catch
Shit
us
is gonna
watching porn
happen.
and you'll be like, man, I told you you can't do that yet, and they be like, fuck that.
I feel like you have to have
again.
those conversations though.
Right.
Like, this is why you can't do it.
But they're gonna
Or-
do it again.
Truly enough, possibly.
But they're not gonna go out and try to murder somebody and commit a whole fucking orchestra of a
Right.
gang. Yeah, that's crazy.
But if they have the fear of what you already told them and they do something wrong, like we know the laws, right? Like we know we're not supposed to do this. If we do it, we're scared of the repercussions.
Going to jail.
If they've never learned that, they're not. These kids don't seem like they were scared of the repercussions, and that comes from being parented the right way.
Yeah, I agree. But I got to go back to when we had our last parents conversation between me and y'all with Kim Kardashian and them.
Yeah.
Y'all said that even though Kim set the standards to her of what she can do on this app and she still went live, y'all blame
It
Kim.
fell back on her because you still allowed her to have the app. Had you just taken it away from jump, or had you made, or
But
had
she
you
never
put your
went live
like
before,
Aisha
though.
Curry? Like
That
I
was her
literally
only
just read an
stipulation.
article
But
about
what Kim
Aisha
said-
Curry.
what
Her
Kim
only
says
stipulation was
and
her
what-
going live.
Kim
what
does is two
says
different
and what Kim
things.
does in the public, where her daughter and her daughter's friends know who she is publicly.
Thank you.
That doesn't.
She let the old girl,
Be an
the
example.
Ice Spice chick on to the girl's TikTok.
Yeah,
It was shit like
example is
that.
a whole thing. I'm just saying I'm not talking about example. I'm talking about parental wise.
Yeah.
I told you that you can use this to a certain extent. Like you can use YouTube.
You shouldn't have
but
never
you
gave it to
can't-
her in the first place.
Wait,
That
but
nips
you
that
just
whole thing in
said
the
that if your
bud.
child had a phone and they ended up watching porn or something, that just happened. So you just going to have a conversation.
Yeah, you have to have
That
the
was the first
conversation.
time that it happened for her. So she had a conversation after that.
But
and
she
hasn't
still
been
allowed
live
her
ever
to have
since.
the access in the first place. Aisha Curry literally just talked about this in an interview where she says she regrets overexposing her child to social media because it has, like you said, it has all of these effects. Like
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen to your child. They can, again, over-sexualize criminals. I watched somebody still on or play practical jokes all on YouTube, so I thought it was fun. I'm going to do it too. It's about what standard you set as a parent. Right? If I'm telling you I don't think social media is healthy for you at this age, I'm not going to allow you to have access to it. I'm not going to give you the access and then limit it. That don't make no sense because, again, they're going to be exposed to that shit.
Okay, so you'll give them the phone, but tell them not to watch porn.
Phone,
They have Safari. So
that's you set up restrictions on that kind of shit. I'm not just going to give you a phone free willy. No, if you're a 12-year-old, you're going to have restrictions, what you can and cannot see on said phone. And then you're going to have a time frame where I need said phone back. Those are the standards I'm setting in my
the
household
time
because I
frame is
don't
thing,
want.
But like, you really
You can
on a-
restrict your child from having access to that kind of shit. Now, if it happens because maybe like there was a kid who was watching or playing Minecraft, Kim Kardashian's child was playing Minecraft
And
and a clip of her sucking dick, Ray J's dick popped up, right? That shit that you can't avoid, but that's when you have those conversations. This is not appropriate for you.
But I just feel
You
like
can't
it's so
block them
many-
from the
it's-
access, but you can have the
stipulations just not
conversation.
fair. It's like
How is it not fair?
so. You're telling me, okay, you're saying that if I give them this and then something happens,
The phone isn't meant to be used in that way anyway. If I'm giving you a phone, it's because it's for me to contact you if you need something,
No,
if
but
you
I
are in
told you that
danger.
I told you that this
Yeah.
is me as a parent because you're not going to tell me how to parent.
Right.
I told my kid that they can make TikTok videos, don't upload them, draft them, and never to go live. So because they go live one time, and obviously she took it away.
But you said it just in yourself. Kids are going to be curious and they're going to do what they want to do anyway.
But that's exactly what you're saying for your kids as well. So it's basically no one-sided thing. Kids are going to be kids.
But it's about how much freedom you're willing to give them at a certain age.
So I blame you for grabbing your kid phone that one day and they got on a big booty bitch on there. I blame you. I don't blame the kid because you already told them that they couldn't watch it. You've already set up the boundaries. They got beyond that. But I blame you for doing it. That's fair?
Yes, because I'm the parent and I'm responsible for these kids.
It's not for these phones nowadays. You just got to make it make sense.
No, at that point, then anything a kid can do can be chalked up to that.
So you just might as well don't give them a phone.
I'm fine with that too.
There's phones that you can get kids and apps where it's just like
I'm fine with that too. I don't feel like I didn't have a phone growing up. I didn't get a phone until I was well into my teens.
But you told me if they're going to got that phone because we just had a conversation the other week. Kids need phones in school,
right?
Because they have mass shootings.
Just for the phone.
We didn't have mass shootings like that when we were growing up.
I'm saying kids nowadays. Yeah. So kids need phones. So with that phone, you have to give them all these stipulations.
Or I could purchase a phone that doesn't give you those stipulations, and it's usually meant. It's like a beeper.
It's not gonna have to have nothing on there, no Safari, no YouTube, no nothing. So it's just a phone to call out and call in. That's gonna be the parent that you're gonna have to be, because if you give them an iPhone, they're gonna go and download IG and everything. Just
but we're talking about at a certain age.
Raising them. Yeah, I'm talking about 8th graders. I'm talking about 12-year-olds.
Yeah, and didn't have a phone. I didn't get a phone until my freshman year of high school.
Me too. I was freshman high school.
And I worked my ass off. I had to buy it. My mama said, if you want a phone, you got to go out and buy it. I bought my first prepaid flip phone, working my ass off all summer.
I just had text messaging.
I had to pay for my little text message. You put a little $50 on it, and that's what you had.
Kids nowadays, they're going to get a phone. Right? So if you buy your kid a phone at a young age, at 12, 8th grader, 12, 13, and you set all of these stipulations on there, because as we said, kids need phones. They're shooting up middle schools. They're shooting up elementary schools. Fuck high schools. They're shooting up as low as elementary school. So we already established that kids need phones to call you.
Okay.
What type of phones we just need to we need to about
you
just
give them
little
the basic phones. Like little Nokia beepers. Like you got the numbers on it. You got the little pad. You know I'm calling, and you know you can call me. It don't have to be any. I don't think you have to do anything overzealous. Like if it's truly about keeping your child protected, then yes, buy the child the most basic phone and make sure that there's limited access to anything outside of what that phone could do. Right?
That's the only way.
I feel like if I were to give my child an iPhone, it would be at a certain age where I feel like they will be responsible for it. And even then, like once you 16, 17, people gonna show you things. I mean, the 2 girls, 1 cup. I didn't just so happen to fall on that. Somebody told me that and showed me that shit.
Tires was 16. You going 17. You going older.
I think once you hit a certain age,
just had a hit
they're old enough to understand the repercussions of their actions, and then no, it doesn't fall on you. But anything like of a younger age, that belongs to you. That's your fault.
Their parents should go to jail for this hit that they set up.
No, not if their parents literally had nothing to do with it. You said it yourself. Her mama had no idea she was even this type of person. Whatever that baby got involved in, again, like I feel like that shit got deeper. They were 15. That's old enough to make those kind of decisions.
The little girl was 13.
13, 14, those are old enough to make certain decisions. I wasn't thinking about murder at 12, 10, 11. That little girl, like I said, she's highly intelligent. She's not regular. That's not a normal child. We're not talking about every day playing on my bike.
Stipulations on when to blame the parent and when not, because these kids do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's all I'm saying.
If she gave the child the phone and the child had free range to the phone and she was able to send these messages and communicate and say all the things with no supervision, it's half. Okay, so let's split it down the middle.
Phone every time they come home and you just worked a
Thank you.
How many jobs do you work?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I give you that, I'm responsible for you and what goes on in it.
My sister monitor my niece's phone while she at school and take her phone every night when she get home. She don't sleep with her phone. She don't get her phone till she go to school the next day. And she done found shit and emails and shit that she wasn't supposed to be found. But that's because she checked. She literally I set up her notifications.
It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, like you said. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but it's still your responsibility.
It's your responsibility to make sure
imagine
it's
if your sister just let her go on about it and she starts meeting men via the internet. She just never does anything. But no, I'm just saying in general. No, I'm just saying in general. If your sister never like checked her, never searched her shit, she wouldn't even know that shit was happening. And it could have went even further than whatever it is that she was doing. That's what I'm saying. We're talking about micro moments, which you even said yourself, it will happen. You as the adult have to correct it because you gave them the device. You gave them access to it. And if you don't want them to have any like outside interactions, then it's up to you to limit that.
I just feel like this day and age, there's no
who's buying the phone? Not the child. You.
Don't get me wrong. I feel
who's paying for the internet? Not the child. You.
And I feel like this is a conversation, and I've had this conversation not only with my sister, my mother, and like even my cousin. And that's why I wanted to have a woman's circle. Because like you always say, I don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have kids.
I didn't even say that.
No,
you watch a lot of kids. You know, I was gonna say you have a lot of kids.
I was saying, like, you did just say, but I'm saying as a mother, you're saying as a mother, like I don't have no kids, but I'm just saying I see my little cousins and like these kids that are older. I watch little kids, and yeah, I be around little kids that are 3, 4, 5, but just like my niece, she's 12. My little cousin, 13, 14. My oldest little cousin that I used to watch her change her ass. The little girl, the oldest little person I watched change her ass is 25. And I don't know how that was working out. Yeah, you need to talk to my mom because I was watching kids at a young age. But these kids are growing up, and I thought a lot until I see these kids having kids, and then they like, oh shit, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened in your household? Wait, how did that happen? If you a stay-at-home mom, you up there.
I'm not saying it's 100% their fault, but it is.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that you're saying that it's 100%. I'm just saying that it has to be a lot more fault on these brilliant ass fucking kids that have all this access.
Absolutely.
Now, if we want to just snatch all the access away from them and say no kids have phones at schools. When mass shootings going on, you go teach your kids how to get the fuck out of there or duck, dodge. That's a different story. But if you're going to say they need phones, you're going to take what's coming with it, period, point blank. Because your mama didn't know everything that you did, and you're not going to know everything that your kids do.
No.
In the discussion, what else do you have for us?
So my first segment is about the black woman that happened to be sitting on the flight when a man sat next to her. She happened to look over and he was texting, I can't wait for them to raise these prices so that way these people can't afford these seats. And of course, like most of us, like first of all, I'm not, turn down your brightness, okay? Some of y'all need to do that because some of y'all overexposing yourselves, okay? I've sat next to people who had whole asshole pictures in their phone. I don't want to see that. Okay, so not only should you turn down your brightness, but she was lurking. Like, you all up in that man's phone. So you was being nosy too. I'm just saying.
That's why I be saying.
Playing devil's advocate, you was all up in that man's Kool-Aid. All right. Had you not been, there would have been no beef. But I do commend her for standing her ground and definitely saying something. So here's the clip.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I decided I want you to feel as uncomfortable as I do. And I want you to know that I saw your text messages and I think you're disgusting.
What text message?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna repeat it because everybody doesn't need to know, but I want you to know that I know. I saw you and I think that you're disgusting. You don't have anything to say to that, right?
She even took a picture.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Well, no.
And speaking of,
I just want to say
you should. And speaking of airlines weeding people out, maybe if they raise prices, you know, maybe you wouldn't be able to afford to sit with your family. That way, they don't have to sit next to black people.
I understand.
So I want to play devil's advocate, right? I want to split this down the middle, okay? Because I've had this conversation with multiple people at this point who says, well, right? How do we know he meant black people? Because you kind of assumed that he was talking about black people. We don't know who else was around him. We didn't see the whole seating arrangement. And I'm saying from a standpoint, I get where it could come off as like an angry black woman. We don't know what her day was. Maybe it had been like one too many white tea moments. I don't know. But it could be looked at as, how do you know he was talking about you? Right? He could have been talking about anybody.
Yeah, but he was talking about her.
Right.
'Cause
And
of
then
his
on the other
response.
half, like, yeah, you said, right. And that's how I felt. He apologized.
Because of his response.
When he turned
That's-
and was like,
yeah, he
I'm
told on
sorry.
himself. That's like 48 hours. Like,
Mhm.
you know, when they say go in and they be like, yeah. I'm
And you
sorry.
self-switched. Yeah,
you-
exactly.
yeah.
That was my whole take on it. Because had you not apologized or sounded somewhat sympathetic, like you even
Yeah.
had to think about what you said, right? You wouldn't
And
apologize.
That's why I'm with you. That's why I'm like, it's crazy how alike we think certain things, because I was right there. Because I'm like, bitch, why you read my text message? Do
'Cause you're
everybody need to
nosy.
have black screens? But then it's like, we need to talk about people that's just like this, because if I fall asleep, you know, like that's dangerous to be around somebody that really don't, you know.
It depends.
It
Because can you do
depends.
something on the plane?
Yeah, you can in that little ass robe.
Put a little
But I'm
something in
not
the
saying
water.
he is. I'm just saying
Right.
you just never know, right?
Mhm.
So it's like 60-40. I feel like 60, she shouldn't be reading people's phones.
Get out their business.
But 40, speak out, because he did mean what he said towards her. So I feel.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it could be looked at either way, but I definitely feel like you apologized for a reason. So you obviously felt some kind of
Yeah, he
guilt when you sent that text.
He's talking about
And you
sorry.
didn't. I'm
He
sorry.
said it so fast.
I'm sorry. No, it's too late, bro. It's way too late. Like, you ain't already sent the text, but y'all having a whole meeting about me. Are you upset because I'm sitting next to you and I happen to be black? Come on now. And what bothers you about my blackness? And that's something I've always wanted to ask somebody who I don't know. I don't want to call him a racist because I'm not 100% sure if he racist. Maybe he racist curious. I don't know.
He's prejudiced because he's probably broke enough to sit next to me on a plane.
We both riding Frontier.
Yeah, we're knee to knee, buddy.
We're both riding Frontier.
Depending on how long
Okay,
this flight
and we
is,
gotta
might
sit
be
towards the back because we got these
shoulder to
tickets
head.
last minute.
Fuck is you talking about? I don't know somebody. Fuck is you talking?
You have not
Yeah.
fallen asleep on somebody
No,
on a plane?
I did this.
Oh, because y'all was fighting over the armrest?
Yeah, I did that. But my head was too deep and my arm.
I don't like getting on planes because they too crowded. And maybe
I like the
I'm not
middle
in a
seat.
tax bracket yet where I can like get enough space for just me.
I just don't like the middle seat. I'm cool with the aisle or the window. I'm cool. The middle
I
seat
hate
is like
flying.
for torture. If you got the middle seat, that's because you the person that's like, oh, I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah.
If
Like
you-
I
if
ride the
we
middle
ride-
seat when I
if
got
we
both the
ride
girls.
Together, but if we ride together, we can choose our seat. Let's both get our seats, sit with each other, you know, or something like that. So we can still see.
Girl.
But yeah, like I said, I'm 60-40. 60, don't read my phone.
And he
40,
obviously
I get
broke
what
if
you're
you
saying.
and your family got to split up and sit in multiple different seats. Again, that means that y'all probably bought them tickets last minute.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all was the last to on board type shit. You was probably broke and that's why you couldn't sit with your whole family. So don't be talking about nobody else because they raised, like she said, they raised these prices.
For a reason.
You may not be able to afford to sit next to your motherfucking family. I heard that. He obviously can't. So, what you got for us next?
So wait, we can go to the song.
Okay. So the song this week is Brown Girl by Miss Brooklyn Love. Make sure y'all go check her out. Her IG handle is I am Brooklyn Love.
When you look in the mirror, hope you see what I see, and the picture gets way clearer. All you gotta do is believe all the beauty within and the power you possess. Don't you know, babe, you're nothing like the rest. Brown girl, brown girl, brown girl, brown girl. So much beauty within. Brown girl, brown girl, brown girl, brown girl. Don't you know you're my brown girl, brown girl, brown girl, brown girl. Brown girl, brown girl, brown girl, brown girl. And nobody can ever take your place. And the world wants so much from you. And it's hard, but you gotta keep going. Even strong when nobody noticed. Oh, brown girl, all the beauty within and the power you possess. Don't you know, babe, you're nothing like the rest. Brown girl, brown girl, brown girl, brown
That again was Brown Girl by Miss Brooklyn Love. Make sure y'all go tap in. She all over social media, and I fucks with her. She fine as fuck. I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do my let's talk about it because I really wanted to do a little bit of this body cam. I know we'll do it next week. I got some good stuff for you too. But okay, so it was a body cam that was released from a shooting that happened in January. The Tulsa Police Department said that the suspect admitted to deadly stabbing their brother after being taken into custody. This is a 12-year-old little girl allegedly stabbing her brother to death in Oklahoma. Let's watch a little bit of this tape. And
put these kids away, all of them.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're just gonna put handcuffs on just for now.
I'm sorry, just pull up my parents.
Where's the knife?
Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I don't know what to I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Please. I'm so sorry.
That scared the shit out of me.
I pray to God he fucking lives.
You heard it, Mama? You better pray to fucking God he fucking lives.
How old are you?
He goes.
I'm 12 years old.
Where's the knife?
I was upstairs in my room and I threw it out the window and it's behind the apartment right here.
You threw it where?
I threw it out my window upstairs.
Not
right there. It's the room. It's the other room. It's right behind the
They don't have a lot of information because
So where would the knife be? On that side?
He's only 9.
I'm so
He's 9?
Yeah, so he's 9 years old. She's 12 years old. She stabbed him.
Nope.
The mom was already saying, as you can see her reaction, the mom, even it's a 25-minute video. The mom was saying, like, you stabbed him? You stabbed him? Oh my gosh. You used a knife? Like, she was shocked when she found out that she used a knife because she already felt like, you know, why you stabbed him in the first place. She was, and then the girl, she basically asked over and over again, am I going to jail? I'm a good girl. The girl said between tears, you know, am I going to jail? Am I going to jail? But yes, she's in jail and we are awaiting trial. This happened in January. They don't know how to react to it. The girl that's being charged is 12 years old and the little brother was 9.
Oh, you got to know what the family dynamic then is. Is the mom like only hyper focused on the son and 12-year-old felt abandoned? I'm not saying that, but there's always more to it.
It's just not it.
I don't know. 9?
I know people that done grew up in terrible households.
Oh, yeah,
they don't
that ain't never killed
stab their
nobody.
siblings because they get treated better. Not an excuse.
I don't like it. My next segment is the Endure guy. This guy went on a podcast where a young woman asked, what if you get married young, you meet a guy, and then the relationship gets abusive? One of the men that was sitting on the panels then goes, if you get married, you should just endure. Here's the clip.
Someone that's very, very young and goes into a marriage and has kids when they're like 18, 19, 20. A year into the relationship, it gets really, really abusive. Even though it might be rare from what you guys think.
It is.
If it would happen, what would you recommend for those people? Would they divorce or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going. You can't divorce. That's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive?
Because you got to endure. People are too...
You want to stick into the relationship?
People are just...
I mean, look,
people
I'm gonna be
nowadays
honest.
are just...
For anyone that might be in that situation, what would you recommend?
Okay, endure.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
It is such an extreme example that I can't give a prescription for what other people should do.
What about if two people get married, they have a kid, and then the wife starts cheating?
So I want to take this out of like the religious setting because, you know, whatever you believe in and whatever helps you keep yourself grounded, do you. Let's just look at this from an everyday perspective, right? If I'm with somebody and they are physically abusive, whether it be verbally or physically, I don't think anybody should stay. I don't. Right? It may not even be you, or it may not be you. It may be something they have going on, right? Or even if it is you, that's even worse. You might be a trigger for this person. They might have been in 1,000 different relationships and you are just that one where whatever you do makes this person either verbally accost you or beat your ass. And I don't think you should have to stick around and endure that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong. Probably 2 generations ago, our grandparents, they probably would have, right? Because it was all about what the outside thought of what you had going on the inside.
But they didn't talk about it being okay, though.
And they never did. But they also never talked about it. Nowadays, it's very open. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm open about me, you don't put your hands on me. I'm not going to put my hands on you. Don't put your hands on me. right? And that's how the world should work. If I'm in a relationship and a person gets physical with me, it's over. You shouldn't have to stay. I don't care how long y'all been married. I don't care what y'all stipulations, how much money you have invested in one another, how many kids you got. If a person is hurting you, you should not have to endure. And sometimes that shit escalates and you lose your fucking life. So to me, the endure shit sounds fine and granted, this person now has had all these allegations come out against him saying like he's been physical with women. He has beat women in clubs. He is wanted in Japan right now for
the one that said endure.
Yeah, the one that was like endure. He's done this all the time. Like this is something he does. He walked off. He had this panel where he did this big debate and they brought this shit up and he walked off because he's wanted in other countries for abusing women. This is just who he is, and that's what I'm saying. Like people who do it regularly want you to be okay with it. Be okay with it because I take care of you. I have money. I shower you with gifts.
Cheat that be like, oh yeah, it's okay to do it sometimes, or when you do it
because I still love you. I still come home to you.
Bullshit.
No,
but
it's
this
bullshit.
person right here, let me just tell you. Hold on, this just fucked me up. It say I just went through some crazy shit like this, an internet relationship, and I never met him. He tried to commit suicide. Like I had to go with him.
Stop.
So
it.
like saying like if you don't come, I kill myself. That's insane.
I hear people talk about relationships like that all the time.
You tried to commit suicide.
Oh, that if that person didn't.
Oh,
that's left.
No.
But you hear about relationships like that all the time where people threaten to harm themselves just to keep somebody around.
He eat dogs.
What? Girl, enough with that.
Enough.
Because now whoever is on there is doing a little too much. But you hear about relationships like that all the time where people will threaten to harm themselves if they try to leave. But that's also abuse too. Like that's manipulative. Like, okay, if you kill yourself, I have to stay and continue to deal with the abuse? Absolutely not. But yeah, I don't know. People that advocate for that kind of shit typically are abusers themselves.
Yeah, that's a fact. No matter the gender, the relationship, don't put your hands on me. Okay. No. There's ways of communications. We can sit down, we can talk, we can actually give me time. You go in that room, I go in this room. Polish your nails, I polish my feet. Watch TV, play the game, I'm gonna go over here and do my makeup. But it's time to get away from each other to actually come together. Then we can have a conversation. I don't feel like it's always a perfect time to have a conversation when people are under so much pressure. Definitely in this day and age.
Yeah, because you're willing to say anything.
Yeah, we have so much. And then on top of in the house,
do anything.
On the outside of the house and paying bills and doing it's so much pressure on us, right? So I feel like kind of taking your time and sitting back and relaxing, then coming together, it's a lot.
I learned from my last relationship that I don't do well when it comes to like hostile environments in general. So I'm not going to like argue or yell or scream with you. Like I need like if we get heated, then it's time for us both to just walk off and I let me figure out where I'm at in my feelings and then you figure out where you are and then let's talk about it later.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you should ever hold a conversation in the heat of the moment. Somebody's prone to say something off the fucking wall that's gonna really like cut deep.
But that's that's only in certain circumstances where people. Because I feel like some people that walk off and take that time, they don't really get to say what they really want to say.
Not always.
So
sometimes like even in the moment to like de-escalate yourself.
Say.
Yeah.
Not put you still don't have to put your hands on each other with hearing people scream and yell and say shit. And you be like, oh, bitch, you been wanting to say that. Not taking it in a bad way, but you taking it in. And they may have, I've been wanting flowers for 10 years, Jerry. It's not a bad thing, right?
Right. But there's better ways to communicate though either.
But that bitch probably still sit down with Jerry and still don't say nothing about the flowers. So I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying some things could come out good.
It could be brought out, yeah.
Okay. But don't put your hands on me, bitch, because you ain't getting no
flowers.
I
think once things get physical, it's a totally different ball game. Like you can't.
But I feel like because I
don't think when you are trying to have
I talk loud.
If you're trying to have like constructive conversation, I don't think yelling and screaming is going to help you convey your point either way.
Yeah, that's true.
Because at some point now y'all just yelling over each other. Nobody knows what the fuck each other's saying. And now we're only catching bits and pieces. And now we're arguing about the bits and pieces that you said versus like we did escalate the situation. We come back when we're both in a better mind frame. And even some of the things that you were mad about, you might not even be mad about later.
But I feel like if someone's screaming and say if you are the person that's really trying, like not say the person, but you like, okay, this motherfucker is every time they start screaming, I just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see what the fuck they want to say. And have you ever argued with somebody and you be like, and just didn't say nothing, and their voice went from up here to down here because now you just listen
That's
to what
usually
they have
how I
to say.
react to most people when they yelling
But
at
that's
me.
what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's okay, but
Yeah.
some people just don't know how to talk to you because you are a busy person.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck am I about to talk to you in this little bitty ass time that we got together? And this is the time I want to be romantic with you. So this is the time I want to be romantic with you. But I can't never say the bad shit that you did to me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm mad, bitch. And I just want to say, you feel me? And not saying it's right.
Right.
out of
But
that
if you
little
got my
5
attention
seconds,
for like
yeah,
5
that's what I'm
seconds, if you
like.
have my attention for
It's
5
like,
seconds,
shut
why
the fuck
couldn't you have
up.
just said, hey, I really need to talk to you. So if
Yeah.
you can set aside some
Exactly.
time for us to talk, I'd appreciate it. That's
that's
a
the
better
time I
way of
wanna romanticize
conveying
you.
that versus what? No, if you're upset with me about something,
Oh,
we shouldn't
yeah,
even be
oh, yeah,
worried
no,
about
yeah, if
that.
I'm upset,
right?
yeah.
If you are pissed off at me and you want to yell at me,
Just calm
you
down
can be
and
like,
keep it real
hey, I
with
know
me,
you're
yeah.
busy right now, but when you have time, I need to talk to you.
That's a fact.
It's a better way of saying that versus, bitch, I'm tired of dealing with your ass. you make me sick.
I'm
That's doing
not,
too
and
much.
that's not what I'm saying when I'm saying the screaming. I'm saying
Yeah.
with someone, like I said, like, oh my gosh, I just really want to have a date night. You know, like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that shit happens.
But that's not abuse.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the
Yeah.
screaming that's okay. Where it's like, I'm just trying to say something.
Yeah.
Instead of walking away every time they raise their voice. Then when you, like you said, and then when you look at them like that, they like, okay, sorry, I didn't mean it. You know?
Girl.
But not like, bitch, I'm about to beat your ass and knock your, no, hell no.
Yeah,
I'm not
physical
about to
abuse, don't stay, y'all.
watch you
Move the fuck around.
beat me up, bitch.
And that goes
No.
for people that are like hyper religious too, because I get
Yeah,
like
because,
you took
no, that's
vows
okay,
before
no.
God and all that good stuff. I believe in that for you, right? But there has to be a line. There has to be
Yeah.
some place that you're not willing to go. And if it's
You're not about
your
to
life
beat me,
versus
bruh.
being with this person, I would rather choose a life than to be with this person. I don't care how obsessed you are with that person. If they are physically harming you, you have to get the fuck on.
And even as a Christian, the Bible defends a lot against a lot of that. Some churches and pastors try to manipulate that and make you stay together if you're getting
Yeah.
abused. Like, nah, leave if you're getting abused. Like,
Because
leave.
they're going
Leave.
to, it's
Especially if
escalate.
you went to
It
counseling
doesn't
and did, like, it's time. If,
Yeah.
I tell all my female friends, if a guy hits you once,
He's going to
leave.
do it
Yeah.
again.
Because
it never
you're giving him,
de-escalate, it always
you're giving
escalates.
him
the okay
the
to
okay
keep
to
doing
do it again, and not just for you, but for the next
For
girl
the
too.
next, thank you. Because the more you endure, the more he's going to try to put on the first.
the next person
the
is
next
going
person.
to endure.
And then you got
If
some
you don't
people
die
that
first.
are really broken, right? If you don't die first, that's the big thing. But you got some people that are really broken, that's really never had love, that really will endure that. So to hear somebody say
To encourage it.
well, encourage it, right?
Mhm.
It's crazy.
And he has a huge following. Everybody on that panel has a huge following. So it's like you're telling people that it's
To get
okay to be with somebody as long as you made a commitment before God or whatever, your family, your friends, to stay together, even if he is beating your ass or vice versa. Even I know a man who gets physically abused, or he was at the time when he was in that relationship.
By his girl?
By his girl. Like, and he would never put his hands on her, but he stayed in that relationship because he gave a fuck
I
about
know
the girl.
people like that, too.
Right. Like, I really love her. I just want to see her get better. Like, he was like, there was days like it didn't even make sense. Like
I
she would
beat a
get
nigga
pissed off
before.
about stupid shit. Like he pissed on the
I'm just
seat
playing.
and she would come around the corner and like fire off on him. No, you know.
I'm really
Yeah.
just playing. I said I beat a nigga before.
Oh my God. Either way, it's not okay.
I really never did. No. Hell no. We gonna fight, bitch.
No, I don't
You wanna
I don't
throw something?
even
Psycho player.
I don't get loud no more. Now I'm just like if we can't talk, we don't need to talk.
Sweetie, my gray hairs grow too fucking fast. I'm not doing that. But have I been in a club and with my spouse, not throwing like punches? That's the thing. Like they are really like strangling and punching. I'm saying
Beating.
like it's like on some windmill shit or wrestling. Like yeah, I've done that, but like not no bitch. Like hell no, hell no. But okay, so for Netflix, sorry, the Arnold Schwarzenegger was a series. But anyways, I'm giving y'all more time because
weak.
it was good. If you ain't watching it, was actually pretty good. I think they're gonna have to make another season 2 because it was actually pretty fucking good. So we're watching Fubar, whatever. We're watching that still, guys. So it's how many episodes, Sean? 6? 8? I don't know, 6 or 8 episodes, but it was good. They like an hour apiece, so it's gonna take a whole day to watch.
Check it out.
Anyways, next thing, I don't know if y'all been seeing, if y'all like TikTok, Candyman been circling around TikTok here lately because I think they're gonna do a documentary on it. Because I actually seen a story about how the guy was messing with a white girl and got locked into the beehive, and you figured it up. So I had to do a gag of the week about Candyman. Black people do not play about Candyman.
We don't.
That's all I gotta say.
We don't. You are not putting us in no bathroom, turning off the lights and saying that shit. You will get your ass beat.
The girls are coming. We gotta look good. Go.
What do I need to do?
I got 2 girls coming.
What the fuck I need to do?
Why I gotta be in the bathroom?
Looking
What
good. Hey.
Oh, hell, I'm fucked up. Wait a minute.
Candyman. Candyman.
100%. It's been that way my whole life.
Right. Well, y'all see when he took his hood up, he said, "Oh, I'm fucked up. I need to fix this."
Got it
like
together.
he's about to get. He said, "Candyman."
Put that shit right back on.
No, motherfucker.
Black people don't play about Candyman,
Black
okay?
people ain't never played about Candyman.
You are not locking us in the bathroom saying that shit.
But I cannot wait until the documentary come out because Hulu is planning on doing a documentary of like the real Candyman and the story, so we can really get into it. But anyways, make sure y'all following us on all of our social media platforms. It's 2 women, 2 opinions on
It's been
everything.
real Ohio today.
My accent be coming out.
It's heavy today.
Anyways, we love y'all all the time, and we out, bitch.
Hey, how they do it? How they do that other shit? Oh, that's, yeah, that bullshit. It's dumb.